In today's session, we're going to continue on the series on leadership and workforce alignment and engagement. To get to be a high-performing organization, we need that alignment within the organization and engagement, which is a necessary condition to become that high-performing organization. If we don't have the alignment, we don't have the engagement, then you're not going to achieve high performance as an organization. We're going to continue on the series on resistance to change and overcoming resistance to change. Today, we're going to focus on how to overcome layer 4 resistance, which is disagreement on the negative ramifications of the solution. So when we have a solution and we propose our solution, and then people see negative ramifications of that solution, not of the solution itself, but in other areas, other departments, negative effects that could happen, then we need to address that. In order to have a complete solution, it needs to solve our problem and also solve any negative consequences of the solution that we're proposing. To review our layers of resistance, layer 0 is why change, layer 1 is disagreement on the problem, layer 2 is disagreement on the direction of the solution, layer 3 is disagreement on the details of the solution, layer 4 is disagreement on the negative ramifications of the solution, layer 5 is disagreement on the details of the implementation, and layer 6 is disagreement on the risks. Today we're going to focus on layer 4. We've talked in the previous sessions about how to overcome resistance in the first 4 layers, which is layer 0, 1, 2, and 3. If you want to go back and review those videos, you can go back and review those videos before you review this session, because this session, as a result, is this buy-in process. You need to go through the first 4 layers to get to layer 4. Today, when we focus on layer 4, we call it negative ramifications, because when you present your solution, you get yes, but, and then there's a reason why the solution won't work in your environment. So negative branches come about when a proposed solution to a problem creates unforeseen problems in another area of the organization. So if you're not familiar with other areas of the organization and how they're measured and what policies and procedures they have in place, and you propose a solution that's in violation of one of those policies or procedures or goals or objectives, then you get this feedback about yes, but. So when presenting to a group or presenting to a person, you want to listen for these yes, buts, that they partially agree with your idea, but then there's negative ramifications that they see that you probably don't see. So this usually indicates that there's consequences that you're unaware of, and you need to address those to be a complete solution. In this case, the yes, but response can strengthen the idea that you're presenting if you can overcome the negative consequences that the person sees or the group sees in your solution. We do this by using the Socratic method to further understand the negative consequences of your idea. Of course, the Socratic method is a form of cooperative argumentative dialogue between individuals based on asking and answering questions to stimulate critical thinking to draw out ideas. So one thing you don't want to do is tell the person that brought up the negative reservations that they're wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. You need to understand that they see something you probably don't see, so you want to investigate that further and understand from their perspective what is the negative consequence that they see, and really validate if that's a true negative consequences, or do they need to have some recalibration of their mindset. So you got to know that they believe that they're right, so they don't understand that they may have a false assumption, or you might be using a false assumption. So when you have the negative branch or the negative consequences or the yes but statement, what we want to do is look for where's the false assumption. Either I don't see something correctly, or I'm not understanding the situation correctly, or they see something that I'm not aware of. So this is a very important tool, a very powerful tool to get collaborative buy-in and to understand really what is the problem and make sure we understand where's the issue and what's the negative consequences that might be a result of our proposed solution. The Socratic method is a technique that you need to practice to be good at. You're not going to be great at it out of the start, but the more you practice, the better you'll get at asking the right questions and understanding what is the current mindset that's driving the negative consequence or perceived negative consequence of your solution. So in order to neutralize the undesirable effects by the negative branch, go back to the branch's origin and surface the underlying assumptions, just like we did in the cloud. We surface the assumptions, and then follow the arrow from the injection to that cause that created the negative branch to grow. Then look for possible injections to neutralize or minimize that undesirable effect. And then if you don't see it at the base, keep moving up the negative branch until you find the point where the negative branch starts or where an injection can reduce or trim that effect. So the negative branch is another injection that's going to strengthen your solution, and it also prevent any negative side effects or consequences. What's the process for overcoming negative branches? So first you need to identify the negative branch. So clearly state what is the negative effect that comes from that solution that you're proposing. Then challenge the validity of the reservation. So challenge the assumptions, challenge the actual negative branch to see if it is going to be an actual negative branch that happens. Then seek supporting evidence. So it's great to do it in a cross-functional team because you get a whole bunch of different perspectives. You're going to seek that supporting evidence to make sure you have all your facts gathered about what the negative consequences are. Then reevaluate the assumptions to make sure that there's no invalid assumptions. If there are invalid assumptions, make sure we invalidate them. Or if there is valid assumptions, what are we going to do to eliminate those assumptions and recalibrate the mindset? Then you're going to brainstorm mitigating strategies, come up with ideas on how to trim that, verify the feasibility and effectiveness. When you come up with a solution, make sure that that does solve the problem, optimize and select all the solutions and make sure there's no negative consequences of that solution, update the future reality tree, and then validate the proposed solutions and implement them. In order to be a complete solution, you need to systematically address the negative branch reservations. That'll enhance the organization's ability to make better decision-making and to increase the chances of successful implementations of proposed solutions to complex problems. Successful application of negative branch reservations will overcome layer 4 resistance, which is disagreement on the negative ramifications of the solution. That's our session for today. Connect with me on LinkedIn, visit our website, go to our YouTube channel where we have lots of videos on how to become a high-performing organization.